Hey, Sessie Stuff. I'm Emma,
I'm Blythe.
and we're here to talk to you all things Week 10 in college football. Let's get to it.
This South Carolina Texas A&M game. Wow. Wow.
They
We
did
had
it,
people
girl.
storming the field. Wow. Like, crazy night in Columbia. Sellers ran for 106 yards, threw for 244 more, and South Carolina finally knocks off a ranked opponent, a top SEC playoff contender. What a night for them. I called this game. I felt like this would happen. They've been so close week in and week out, just knocking on the door, and they finally did it.
Yeah, they got tired of being just close. They were
Yep.
like, "We're gonna win this one." They won by a lot, actually, 44 to 20, which was shocking. They were in their new uniforms. They put out that really cool video with the Joker and everything,
Yeah.
ready to play. They came off a bye week and absolutely dominated. They got out to a hot start, for the second week in a row, really. They led 14 to nothing by the first quarter. Sellers, he set the tone with a 23-yard touchdown, followed by a 14-yard connection to Rocket Sanders, who was absolutely on fire in this game.
Fire. Yeah.
Menard even hit a lineman to get a first down. I mean, these boys were in it this week. And we've always said we love Lenora Sellers. He's so great. And he was great in this game. I think he finally came into himself. I think he finally felt confident in this game, in this atmosphere
Mhm.
with the Gamecocks. And it was just great to see.
Yeah, there were no boneheaded plays. He's obviously great on his legs. If he starts running, you better watch out because he's probably gone. He turns the wheels on. He's just such a great player to watch. They obviously have a pretty big rest of the year. They play Missouri, play Clemson. These teams better watch out because this team is not backing down from here on out. And I don't know.
The Aggies, I mean, they were able to keep it close for a little bit. The score at halftime was 20 to 20, but despite being tied, South Carolina fans knew they had a real shot here, and they let that atmosphere feel like this was their time. This was going to be their game. It was amazing to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Sanders ended up scoring a 52-yard touchdown to push the Gamecocks to 27 to 20. And after that, the Gamecocks were on a roll. They really shut down A&M's offense, including stopping them twice on fourth downs, which is absolutely amazing. Odie Fortune intercepted Marcel's Reed, setting up the Gamecocks for a big fourth quarter lead. The defense, they sealed the deal. Dylan Stewart, TJ Sanders, they got timely sacks. Tonka Hemway forced a fumble, leading the Gamecocks to more points. I mean, they just couldn't stop scoring. And this is what we wanted to see from the Gamecocks.
This is.
This was their best performance of the year. They
Mhm.
averaged 7.6 yards per play, which is elite, especially for them. I mean, it's good to see. Sellers and Sanders averaged over 7 yards per carry. They really limited A&M's Marcel Reed to just
Mhm.
206 yards and one critical interception. They controlled the ground game, allowing just 5 yards per play. And like we saw last week, Marcel Reed was the difference maker in that LSU game.
Yep.
He was the reason they were able to come out on top. So the fact that South Carolina was able to look at that and say, we're going to shut that down. We know we can stop this run, and they did. And that was the beauty and benefit of Marcel Reed, was being a mobile QB, and they didn't let that happen. So with this win, South Carolina moves to 5-3, just one win away from bowl eligibility. So we're rooting for you.
Yes, and I think if you're South Carolina, this is the game that you needed to win for recruiting, for your program. This was the statement win that needed to happen to be able to get your program to that next level. And so I'm sure a lot of eyes were on them last night, probably a lot of recruits in the building, and just really cool to see for them and really great for them moving forward.
No, absolutely. And their games are Vandy, Missouri, Wofford, and Clemson. I really think that they'll beat Wofford, so they will be bowl eligible. They might even pull another upset
Yeah.
against Clemson in the rivalry game. We'll have to see, but they've shown they're not a team to be taken lightly. So we're really going to see what happens. But with Texas A&M losing this game, it really adds to the chaos of the top SEC standings. It creates more playoff chaos with multiple teams vying for a top spot. It's honestly a game of roulette now in the SEC, but I think the SEC's proven week in and week out that they are the hardest conference to play in. They are the ones that are going to put up the biggest fight
Yeah.
in the playoffs. I mean, we saw it earlier this year with the Georgia Clemson game,
Yeah.
ACC versus SEC. We saw it earlier this year too with Texas and Michigan, SEC versus the Big Ten. I think that it would be a crime not to put at least 4 of these teams in. Which 4 teams? Well, there's at least 3 or 4 more games for most of these teams, so there's a lot that can still happen. Obviously, we can't predict the winner any given week. It's just been a little crazy out here,
Chaos.
despite what your record is. Um, so it's going to be very, very fun, and I can't wait to see what happens. But A&M is still hanging in there, but they really got to pull it out. I think if they drop that game to Texas later in the year, then they're unfortunately out,
Yeah.
um, because of how great it's been to see them grow and develop this year, and see them dominate in a big way. But I think if they drop that Texas game for sure, I don't think they're going to be making those playoffs.
Guys, thank you so much for watching us week in and week out. Be sure to like and subscribe and enjoy the rest of this wonderful college football season.